Are you tired of being polite? Haven't you had enough of Moonveil spammers and level 400 bleed gankers? Aren't you just sick to death of meta level? Of course you are. So what are you gonna do about it? Hey, it's me. Remember me? I made a build. Look at my build. It's level 15. She's a strength guy, and I'm doing invasions with her. And I am just having the time of my life with this build. Here we go. Here's a fun invasion. This is level 15 with +3 weapons because I just got. So I started doing invasions in Elden Ring again, I don't know, last week, the week before, something like that. And as soon as I started doing it again, I remembered why I quit. And the reason why I quit is because I am, one, just not that good at it, and two, I was invading like at meta level or higher than meta level being 125, because I would be playing through the game and I would just be leveling up normally and not really giving that much thought to where I might want to stop for matchmaking purposes. So all my invasions end up being at like, I don't know, level like 150. I have a 150 guy. I have like a 180 or a 165, something like that, caster guy. I have a close to level 200 carrion knight guy. And the fights at meta level and above are so short. It's just kind of a race to see who can get a nuke off fastest, who can get themselves into position and activate their world beater faster, like who can land waves of darkness first around a corner, or who can land a fully charged giant flame take thee or a cannon of Haima, or like there's any number of setups you can have that will just one-shot you. And all of those setups work at higher level. Ugh, look at that turn and burn. Beautiful. So what I wanted invasions like this. This is a great invasion. This invasion is an especially fun one because as you can probably tell, I'm not really prepared for it. Like, this build is not done. You see my menu open right now. There are things missing from that menu that should be in there. See if you can spot them later. I'm excited. My hand, like the whole time I was doing this, my hands were just shaking. I am like fumbling my swaps. I'm fat rolling because I forget to take off the claw mark seal and the parry shield. And it's just a knockdown, drag out, like 10-minute melee between one invader and 3 cooperators who, like, they're all level appropriate. These guys are all like level, I don't know, like 20 to 30 or something like that. And they're not like twinked out with, like they're in Limgrave. They don't have a Moonveil. They don't have like a Rivers of Blood. They don't have these like super meta YouTube ass builds. It's just like a rough and rowdy street fight. And the whole time I obviously was shitting my pants, like I mentioned, but like the whole time I was just so happy to be having a real fight. Because so many higher level invasions just don't feel like a fight so much as they feel like a cat and mouse game of like who can find you first. Ooh, I'm still salty about that parry. I wish I could have gotten that parry. I'm using Stormwall right here, which is it's better than the regular small or medium shield parry. It's not as good as carry and retaliation, but I hadn't gotten that yet. I wanted that parry so bad. I have been teaching myself to parry in PvE, and I've been, eating a lot of shit from medium to easy PvE enemies as I learn. I would really like to land one in PvP. I still haven't yet. But yeah, look at this. It's just a street fight. We're out there throwing elbows and kicking dirt and biting and shit. This is such a fun fight, and you don't really get many of these at higher levels. So here's where the invasion really starts going south. I think I, at this point, am either out of flasks or I only have the one left. I am nearly out of FP, and I don't know if I have an FP flask left. You can see if you pause it. Yeah, what is that? One flask left. And the thing that's missing from my build, from my menus, I don't know if you can see it, is my Blessed Dew Talisman, is my Bestial Vitality, is Warming Stones, is anything that can help me in a situation right here. I haven't played through I haven't gone up and gotten the Taker's cameo from the Rykard quest line, or I haven't gotten the Serpent God's curved sword from the Ruin-strewn Precipice. I don't have the Blessed Dew Talisman from the Tower of Return. And so, as a consequence of that, I have no way to regain any hit points right here. I'm shit out of luck. I don't even have the crafting recipe. Look at that whiff of the free aimed running R2. That's horrible. Like I said, not my best work. So yeah, and so right now, all I can really do here is run away, which is what I'm about to do. There's a hit with the running R2. All I can really do is run away and hope to get lucky. Don't giant hunt out of neutral. It's a terrible opener. So, I run away. I'm frantically searching through my inventory looking for anything that can help me. I don't find anything. So the best I can come up with is warp and see if I can hopefully get behind them and take one of them by surprise and ambush them. And that doesn't work either. I'm just right up against them again. They still haven't resummoned their friend, which I don't know if they're all pretty new. I said I was hoping to get lucky, and lucky I did get. Look at that. Now we got ourselves a ball game. Now it's a fair fight, and which really means it is an unfair fight in my favor. I at this point I was just kind of fucking around. I was pretty confident that I could, if he didn't resummon or summon a blue in or whatever, I was pretty confident that I could get this guy without any trouble. So I started to feel bad for him. You can see me looking. You can see me almost severing out. I wanted to sever out, but nope. Guy's got to learn. Sorry. So, I realize at this point that he's running back to the Grace and is probably looking to resummon. So, get the bow out. Always keep some kind of bow on your build. And to my surprise, he comes back and fights. But anyway, like I was saying, I was pretty sure that I could beat this guy in a 1v1, and so I just put him out of his misery. I was trying to think if I had any gifts to bring him or anything like that. But the build's still so new, I don't even have anything like that at this point. Up to the Dragon Barrow. It's raining. My weapons are all fire infused. It's level 15. It doesn't really matter. Like, your damage is so, like, the ceiling and the floor are closer together here. You know what I mean? The upper limit to damage is so low that it, you know, like a what is it, like 15% penalty or something like that, or 10%, not even, to fire damage. Like, look at that. That's, you know, that's a quarter of, or a third of this Phantom's health bar on a running R1. I don't think it was even a counter hit. You know, it doesn't matter that much, which is what I really like. This is more of a scarier. Casters are still scary at this level, but it's not just for like shitting out damage. Like, they can if they want to, if they're like really twinked out, or if they're higher level. But like, the downscaling really helps with that. But what they're still scary for is hit stun. You know, if you have a co-op, or if you have a host chasing you down with the Guts Greatsword, you know, like, I can beat this guy in a one-on-one pretty easily. But what makes it harder is the friend, because, you know, you have a friend just like pestering me with, you know, Swift Glintstone Shard, or just Glintstone Shard, or whatever it is, the wave that you start the game with. Like, it's not doing a ton of damage, but it is doing hit stun, and it's stopping me in my tracks. And you can tell the difference, like, the difference between an invasion with co-op help and without is, well, you can see it right there. As a matter of fact, this one's a great example. This first Phantom that I encounter, you can see him right here around the corner. That, right off the bat, that's a Sacred Relic Sword. This guy has beaten the game. This guy has a ton of levels. This guy has to die no matter what. So just trade through it, because if I don't win the trade, then I am, you know, I'm dead anyway, just because of the hit stun. I'm going to get blendered. And if I do win the trade, I get to win the invasion. And that's a great example of the downscaling, because that first guy with the Sacred Relic Sword was, let me go back and check, level 251. And I beat them because of Flaming Strike with the follow-up on a Halberd, and a heavy attack from a Halberd beats a one-handed R1 on a Greatsword. Simple as that. It is a way, way more even playing field. If I was level 90 and invading that guy, I'm dead. I'm just dead immediately. I'm blendered to death, because the damage on that Ash of War is going to chunk like half of my health bar, and then I'm going to be stunned, and then I'm blendered to death. But because of the downscaling at level 15, I not only have a fighting chance, but I won the invasion pretty handily. Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. Here's some more invasions. Another Stormveil invasion. This is way, way less common at this level, but you do still get Grace Goblin duelists who I don't really know what this guy was expecting. Probably not a Flaming Strike Halberd to the face. But yeah, not a fan of Grace Goblins. If you could win a duel one-on-one with a level playing field with no flasks and no healing and whatever, then you go to the arena. And if you're not interested in a fair fight, then you try invading. Or if you're interested in an unfair fight where you have more flasks than your opponent, then try hosting. What I don't understand is the desire for a one-on-one at an advantage. You know, like, it's the worst of both worlds. I didn't really have any particular reason for including this clip, other than I just wanted to show off that Stormblade hard swap longsword kill right there at the end. I was pretty proud of that one. I don't have any particular lesson to impart from the wisdom gleaned from that clip. I am addicted to hard swapping because I watched too much Chase the Bro at an impressionable age, and now am addicted to hard swapping. I followed these guys across like what felt like half a fucking Limgrave, just to get back to where they were to hopefully finish them off. I figured the host was gonna go and resummon because that's the smart thing to do, and I'm blasting them with explosive great ballista bolts. That's pretty mean. You're not supposed to have those till like Mount Gelmir, but I went to Mount Gelmir because this like turned into a twink build accidentally, sort of. I didn't really mean to like press this far into the game. I just kept thinking, oh well, I should get this. I should go get that. And oh, this is up in Altus, so I guess I'll go to Altus. Or, go get the medallions or whatever. And one thing led to another, and now I'm about to fight my way into Lanedell, past the Draconic Tree Sentinel at level 15 with +3 weapons. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but it just kind of turned into a level 15 +3 weapons playthrough, like challenge run. And I've never done anything like that before. I've done like katanas only, and that's it, which is not a challenge run. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I chased these guys all the way back down to the end, and then once I killed this poor guy's summon for the second time, I start to feel bad, and start thinking about, do I sever out? Do I put him out of his misery? Do I like try and have an honor duel and bow or whatever? Or do I just, put him down like a dog? And this does happen pretty commonly. The host, once you've exhausted enough of their phantoms, will just give up, which I don't know, it bums me out. Like, if you're already dead or as good as dead, I don't know, why not go down swinging instead of go down sad? But yeah, so that's a shame. They're new to the game. Now you're asking yourself, I hear you asking yourself, I hear it, you're not saying it out loud, you're saying it in your mind, but I can hear you. Don't you feel bad, running down these poor hosts with more advanced stuff? Like, the Knight Rider halberd is pretty mean. The other two poke halberds I have are pretty mean. The ballista with the explosive bolts is really mean. For this level, the Storm Stomp Claymore with the R2 roll catch is fair game, but it feels kind of mean against a lot of these hosts. Don't have a lot of poise and don't have a lot of hit points, and will get stunned by the Storm Stomp pretty quickly. That's fair game, I think. It is strong, but you can get them both early, and they just like work right out of the bat. You can get them both before you go to the round table hold. So I'm not too worried about that. But you're still asking yourself, I can hear you still asking yourself, don't you feel bad using all that mean stuff against these poor defenseless low-level hosts who have, just started the game and are just trying to play with their friends and whatever? Don't you feel bad for bullying them? And that's a great question you're asking, and I'll tell you the answer. The answer is absolutely the fuck not, and I'll show you why. I invaded these guys a couple different times in one night. I didn't realize that it was them every time until I watched the footage back. But check these guys out. These guys are both, as far as I can tell, like the host is level appropriate because they have to be, and the Phantom seems level appropriate. Like, they don't have anything. Or at least that I ever saw, they don't have anything, inappropriate for this bracket. It's all mostly starting equipment. And either of these guys are beatable in a one-on-one. This is what I was talking about earlier. Like, either of these guys are beatable in a one-on-one. But because of the strength in numbers, it is just impossible to get one or the other of them in a one-on-one. You know, it is so hard to get them isolated, because you disengage with both of them, or you engage with the one of them, and as soon as you've got the one of them on the ropes, here comes the other one to cover for you. And we can see now right here at the very end that this host is rocking dual Reduvias, which I'm sure they got perfectly legitimately at level 15 in New Game Plus. I'm sure they did that. And like that's the answer to why don't I feel bad using this super mean equipment, is because you just don't know. Like, you could run into a host at any time who has had their friend in New Game Plus 5 drop them all the spare Reduvias and bleed bandit curved swords and whatever that they just like have lying around in their inventory. You are not immune to being ganked to death at any level. Like, you are at a disadvantage, and so I don't feel bad about, you know, running down a level 19 host with a with a fire Knight Rider glaive with a flaming strike on it. You know, like, I don't feel bad for it. You got to be prepared. The other side of that is this invasion here that we've been watching. Have you been paying attention? Have you been looking at what this Phantom has on offer for me to contend with today? You know, this is right off the bat, like that's DLC armor. Those are DLC swords. The Rolana's the DLC. Yeah, the Rolana swords. The, you know, light roll, the all kinds of incantations. This Phantom is very high level. This is a Phantom, not the host. They're wearing the host trick mirror. But like because they have light roll, they're driving me insane. I just cannot catch them. Like, they're immune to the flaming strike wake up. You know, they've got the Malekith's black blade, tons of FP, and I just like I can't quite get a hit on them, and when I do, I can't, you know, follow it up with a roll catch because I am so not used to fighting light roll. And so this co-opper is so deadly, or should be, but they're not. I don't know if you've noticed how long this fight has been going, but I'm level 15 and they're level like 290 something. I'll check at the end. And I am going blow for blow with them. Like, it if we were if I was level 60 here, I like the downscaling is just not as powerful there. I might be dead just from getting hit by the Placidusax's Ruin pocket nuke 3 spell slot dragon head spell. But because of the downscaling, like, we are having a knockdown drag out duel, which, like, I am not a fan of it just being a duel in an open field. If I wanted this, I have spent plenty of time in the arena. I'm kind of tired of the arena now. If I wanted this, I would just go back there. But like, I do get it. We're like, the host is level like 15 or something, and, you know, doesn't want to fight the big scary invader in the mean evil helmet. Like, I get it. I'm being kind of shitty right now, but like, I do get it from the host's perspective. And so, like, you know, why wouldn't you have your level 250 New Game Plus 3 tricked out faith build friend come and help you? You know, like why wouldn't you? But like, look at this go. And like, this is what it takes, is the fan dagger finish at the end. Like, we had a great fight. It was frustrating for me, but because of the light roll, but like, that made it even more satisfying to win, and now, you know, the host just gives up, which is a shame. But, you know, what are you going to do? Just one more really good fight that I want to show you before this video is over is, surprise, surprise, check it out. It's the same group from before. I never wave anymore. I don't believe in that. I believe in charging at your enemy with hate in your eyes. But I gave him a wave because I was excited, because these guys were an invasion that I had won at the start of the night, that I had won by the absolute skin of my teeth, by a miracle, because one of the phantoms forgot where the gap in the wall was. And so I had a really good fight with these guys, because, you know, they're not ganking, they're not like trying to host a fight club or anything. They're not the squad isn't full of overleveled phantoms. They're just 3 honest co-opers trying to make their way through the very beginning of the game, and that's awesome. And they gave me a hell of a fight the first time, and I wasn't really prepared for it because my build wasn't done. And now my build is pretty much done. I mean, I'm still tinkering with it because I can't make myself stop, but like the build is like ready for prime time. And so I got a rematch with them at the end of the night, which was really exciting. I'm watching this back with you. I haven't watched this back since I recorded it, actually. Whoa! Ooh, that's big damage. I forgot I did that. That was the first phantom who died the first time around when I hit him with the flaming strike, turn and burn. I don't think I one-shot him that time. I think he was missing some health. But like it does buckets of damage. But he's not wearing chest armor. I think his defense is just a little bit lower. So, switch back to the flaming strike. Just, can't seem to separate him, so pick one and charge him down. I'm more on top of my inventory this time. The kind of the jitters have subsided. I'm not, worried about like dropping my controller or anything anymore. Let's see what happens next. The host looks like they're out of flasks again, which is kind of sad. I normally I would not take this kind of pity on a group of co-opers, but like if I had a warming stone, I think I would have dropped one for this group just because I liked him so much. But yeah, just like much easier, had a much better time with it. Just like kill the phantoms one by one and get the host. And now the host and I are squaring off again. Host didn't quit. Host is very low level. Host didn't quit, and I liked that. So I just kind of start fucking around and trying to land the Warcry R2 one shot, but I don't have the Spear Talisman or the Axe Talisman, or the Roar Medallion, I don't think. So I don't have any of the parts of the setup. I just have the Highland Axe. Back to the straight sword. I think at this point I'm wanting one more chance at a parry, maybe? Nope. Offhand casting tool. So I feel like being a dick, I guess. Oh, sorry, man. But that's what I wanted out of level 15 invasions, and that's what I got. Good, long, honest fights. And that's what you get at level 15. Okay, goodbye.